Hello, it's Hanukkah, Tov Shian Ayin Ches. And let's talk a little bit what Hanukkah is. Hanukkah means that there was a time there was the Beis HaMikdash. We still had a Beis HaMikdash, and there was a very thick darkness on Klal Yisrael, and because the whole thing about the Yevunim was a shrekliche darkness for Klal Yisrael. And we're talking about in the time that we still had a Beis HaMikdash, till Hashem helped, and the Yiddish people were stronger, and they went into the Beis HaMikdash, even though that the Yevunim made everything tumah, and they brought back the purity in Klal Yisrael. Let's talk. We know Torah, something that is supposed to teach us. What is the Torah teaching us? Our sages made, we should have a yontav of Hanukkah. What does Hanukkah mean for us? Let's try to explain something. In the time, there is a time like in the middle of the winter, and there is a very, very big, thick darkness in Klal Yisrael. That's why we go and we start to light the candles. We light one candle, then we light another candle, and every candle we light, it becomes a little bit more light, till hopefully by Zos Hanukkah, that means by the end of Hanukkah, our hearts are going to be light, and then we're going to be ready soon to get to the point. The next, after Hanukkah, comes 5 weeks of Shavavim, 5 weeks of doing Tshiva, and after that we have the unbelievable big celebration of Purim, and then comes Pesach. Let's try to understand, what are we talking about? The word darkness. Where is the dark? Who is the dark? What are you talking about? What means darkness? So let's try to explain what it means. Things happen in this world, and a person, God forbid it shouldn't happen, but to the person that it happens, it is so dark. And let's take a couple of instances. God forbid, a young mother passes away after a very hard illness that she had. She leaves over 5 children for the family and for the whole surrounding family from all sides. It's a very, very big darkness. The darkness is, how in the world could Hashem do something like this? And having such a thought is a very big darkness. And the darkness goes even further. How could I say that Hashem is good to everybody when something that looks so bad could happen? And it happens by all kinds, not only by somebody that passes away. God forbid, if somebody marries off their children, or if a young couple gets married and it goes by a couple of months and they separate, God forbid. It is such a big darkness, meaning to say, or the young man or the young woman says, I got married, I did everything in the world, what I was able to have a beautiful marriage. Why? What happened? what went wrong in getting divorced is a very, very big darkness, not only for the couple, for all the people around and around. I can mention many things. A child isn't well. Financially, God forbid, goes down very, very, very bad. The financial way of living. There are so many things that could be so hard. When we say the word hard, we call it dark. Why? Because the only light that a person sees in this world is that he sees that Hashem does everything. And when we know that Hashem does every little thing, that's the lightness in this world. The second light is that we trust Hashem, we trust Him, that everything that He does is for our good. And God forbid, if something happens and you just have to believe it, you don't see the good. And it's very, very hard to see, how could this be good? That's called terrible darkness. The days of Hanukkah is made. We put on one candle. One candle does not make too much light, but it's much better than when it's dark. The second day, we put on another candle. It should become a little bit more light. The only thing is, it's not the physical candle that we put on. We have to daven and we have to beg Hashem that we are putting on a candle and He should put on the candle in our heart. He should make light in our heart. We should understand and see that everything that Hashem does, it's He that's doing it. Nobody does anything but Hashem. The second thing that we have to know, that Hashem is good. We say every day, 3 times a day, Toiv Hashem. Hashem is good, lakoil, to everybody. Now, let's try to understand a little bit. Somebody passes away, and right away the question goes, is this a genetic gene? What does it mean, genetic gene? Let's try to understand. Meaning to say, her mother passed away from the same thing. Her aunt passed away from the same kind of a cancer, God forbid. So the first question goes, is this genetic? What does it mean, genetic? We don't see, don't you see that this word genetic takes you away from the focus of Hashem? What am I talking about? This world, Hashem made a world. In the holy language, this world is called Olam. And in Lushan Kodesh, that means in the holy language, Olam means Helam. It means hidden. Hashem made a world, and this world is made for one purpose, because Hashem is playing hiding. He's hiding. How do you say the game that children play? In Jewish they say behalten. How do you say it in English? I think it's hiding. You hide, and then you try somebody should find you. Now imagine when Hashem made a world and He's trying to hide. He's playing hiding, and nobody's looking for Him. How bad does this boy, this 11-year-old boy that's playing this game, and he goes and he hides, and he's trying, he's waiting, somebody should come to look for him, and nobody comes to look for him. How does he feel? Now let's try to understand what we're talking about. We said a minute ago that genes does one thing. It takes you away from the focus that Hashem did it. Let me try to learn a piece of Medrash Tanchima in Parshas Pekidai, and let's see what the Medrash tells us. the Medrash, the minute we say Medrash, we mean the holy sages. Medrash starts like this. Masha Omer, there's a pusik. And the pusik says, Hashem does wonders. Unlimited. Hashem does unlimited wonders. So the Chazal tell us, the sages tell us, these are the wonders that Hashem does by forming a child. So they say, at the time as a child is supposed to be coming down to this world, Hashem gives a remes, he gives a wink to the malach that brings down children on this world. His name is Loilu, his name is night. Who is the malach that's called night? The malach, this malach is the Yetzer Hara. This malach is the malach hamuvas, and this malach is the malach that brings down a child. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells this malach that tonight there's going to be born a child, and Hashem tells this malach you should know about it and watch that everything should go in the right way. And Hashem tells this malach, I would like you should bring me up this cell, bring it up. And the malach goes and does exactly the way Hashem says. Hashem even tells this malach, I want you should put into the cell veins, 365 veins. We're talking about, this thing is as small that the naked eye can't even see it, but it does have already veins. So this malach, that's the Yetzer Hara, takes the cell and brings it for Hashem and tells Hashem, I did exactly whatever you told me. Now, Hashem says on this cell, what is going to be with this cell? Till the end, till it comes back to the next world, Hashem says what is going to happen in the next 100 years. Now Hashem starts and says, if this cell is going to be a boy or a girl, if it's going to be a weak man, or he's going to be a strong man, if he's going to be a poor man, or he's going to be wealthy, if he's going to be a short person, or he's going to be a long person, tall person, if he's going to have an ugly face or an ugly body, or he's going to be a beautiful person, if he's going to be fat or he's going to be skinny, if he's going to be somebody that's going to be always looked down, or he's going to be somebody that's going to be looked up. And Hashem says now everything that's going to happen to this person till the end. Now, when I learned this, it's actually a medrash, it's a gemura, it's a zoyer. It says, and all these sages tell us this part of information. Now, let's say that somebody gets diabetes, and he gets diabetes, and the reason he gets diabetes is, we don't know, but the easiest thing to say is, yes, his grandfather also had diabetes, and diabetes runs in the family. Is this true? Or is it when Hashem brought down this person, Hashem said whatever it's going to happen? Meaning to say, from the sages that tell us this, it could be somebody should have black hair, and he should have a red head for a child. It means nothing it has no connection with your grandparents, it has no connection with the family, nothing. It only has one thing, whatever the sages tell us. Now, but how come we do see that people there is something that's called genetic. We know there is something that's called genetic. Now, I know that there is something about genetic. I know that. The only difference that we don't get it, genetic is something that means it's just trying to take away the focus that Hashem is doing it. Yes, sure. The reason why there is this gene in the grandfather, in the same gene in the child, in the same gene in one sibling, and another sibling doesn't have it, or a lot of times it's a genetic that doesn't go over to the children. We know there is something like this as genetic. The only thing is that we're saying is that the genetic part is only made for one thing, taking away the focus that Hashem is doing it. Actually, the Yevunim, Hanukkah, that was their goal. Yevunim were not stupid people. They were very, very knowledgeable and very learned people and very successful people. They just tried to say one thing. Yeah, we understand everything, but stop it that everything comes from Hashem. Just stop it. I mean, things happen in this world, and there is genetics, and there is all kinds of natural things. Leave me alone that Hashem is doing it. That was the only thing they wanted. Meaning to say, the Chazal tell us, the sages tell us, they said you should write down on the horn of your ox. We do not have a part in Hashem's world. With Hashem. Now, they weren't stupid people. You could, especially in today's day, somebody should say, we have nothing with Hashem. He belongs in an institution. He's not normal. Everybody knows that Hashem does everything, and it's everybody knows it. The only thing they try to do is one thing. Try to make everything natural. And why does Hashem let this? What's the reason that Hashem lets this? The reason that Hashem lets this is that you should be able to fool yourself and live in this world knowing that is no Hashem. Yes, this means olam, this means helam, this means the whole world, the world was created with 10 words, 10 commandments. And every commandment only has the word Elohim. Doesn't have the name of Hashem as Hashem, Yid Kai, Vuf Kai. That should have been the way we know the world should have been written only with Yid Kai, Vuf Kai, because Yid Kai, Vuf Kai means the goodness of Hashem. It shows goodness. And Hashem made this world only for goodness. So why does every time it says Bereshis Buru Elohim, Vayar Elohim, only Elohim? Because Elohim is Gematria Teva. It has the same, it finds the same number as Teva. Teva means everything goes by itself. Things happen. It's nature. The nature of this thing happens like this. And this is where Hashem hides. And our whole thing in this world is one thing. To play catch with Hashem. Hashem is hiding. We should find Him. Now, we know that a tragedy that happens, we can't understand it. We don't even want to understand it. God forbid a woman goes away and leaves 10 children, little children. She passes away 3 days after she marries off her son, first son. She was hardly by the wedding because she was so ill. Another woman goes away from this, leaves this world, and leaves 5 little children. We do not want to understand that because it's impossible to understand. We don't want to try to even go there to try to explain it because we will never understand it and we don't want to understand it. Now, there's a lot of things we don't want to understand it, but in the other way, we're trying to find Hashem. What do you want? What are you talking? Hashem is talking to us. And the most of the time, when you find something that's going to knock you, it's going to make you, instead of feel better, it'll make you feel bad. This is not what Hashem is talking to you. Meaning to say, especially in Hanukkah, it's made just to thank Hashem. Hashem wants all of His children to be together. Try to make friends with one more friend. Something like this instead of knocking yourself and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. No, try to do something good. Try to call up a woman and say, you know, I ate your donut, it's delicious, how did you make it? Try to make somebody feel good. That's what Hashem is looking for. Now, this world is made for one thing, to play catch. And how painful is it when Hashem doesn't expect from a goy to look for him. Even though Hashem definitely does, Hashgucha Prutius goes for goyim too. And Hashem takes care of the goyim too. And Hashem wants, we say, V'hoyu Hashem l'melech hakol ha'uretz. When the Messiah is going to come, everybody is going to see Hashem. And we're talking about Isaf too. Everybody, all goyim, will also see only Hashem. But how painful is it when our Father is trying to play with us, hide and seek, and we don't play the game. We're not even looking for Him. So the thing in this Yom Tov to do is to see Hashem. Chas v'shulam, if there is a tragedy, or if there was a tragedy, in close friends, classmates, they feel, Hashem, what's going on? What happened? Don't try to figure out Hashem, because we can't figure Him out. We can only figure out one thing. It's Hashem that's hiding, and we are supposed to find Hashem. The ones, they are still living. We are still on this world. We're supposed to find Hashem. And this is what Hashem wants, and this is what Hashem likes. Hashem should help. We should all have a beautiful Hanukkah and a beautiful year in every Jewish, every Yid should have, should be light by Him. We should see Hashem, and we should live with Hashem, and we should come together, families come together. Yeah, this is the time to say a good word to one each other, to your brother, to your brother-in-law, to your sister-in-law. Yes, this is the time to make friendship. Have a good day.